just get to it. LeBron made his decision, as I was talking to you last night, and I said I'll be back today. He made his decision. It's Miami. Okay, fine. I actually originally, before my thing yesterday, I did say on my Facebook page he'd be a fool to stay in Cleveland. He should go to Miami if he wants to win. He listened. Congrats. The tripping part, though, I must say, I had a preconceived notion of what I thought the show was going to be about, and it really wasn't an ego stroke at all, because you could see, like, he had a lump in his throat. You could see he was kind of uneasy about the decision, which when Chris Broussard said it, it really told me that too. Like, you could tell he was leaving Cleveland, which is why he's probably in Connecticut. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to be New York. No, but he was in Connecticut because Connecticut is nice and far from Cleveland, so they don't have to worry about getting jumped on when he leaves wherever venue he was. But why I'm coming at you right now as opposed to sleeping on it, waking up tomorrow, is because the majority owner of the Cavaliers wrote a letter that is so ridiculous, and I'm going to read it to you. Dear Cleveland, all of Northeast Ohio and Cleveland Cavaliers supporters, wherever you may be tonight. As you now know, our former hero, who grew up in the very region that he deserted this evening, is no longer a Cleveland Cavalier. This was announced with a several-day narcissistic, self-promotional build-up, culminating with a national TV special of his decision, unlike anything ever witnessed in the history of sports and probably the history of entertainment. Clearly, this is bitterly disappointing to all of us. The good news is that the ownership team and the rest of the hardworking, loyal, and driven staff over here at your hometown Cavaliers have not betrayed you, nor never will betray you. There is so much more to tell you about the events of the recent past and our more than exciting future. Over the next several days and weeks, we will be communicating much of that to you. You simply don't deserve this kind of cowardly betrayal. You have given so much and deserve so much more. In the meantime, I want to make one statement to you tonight. This is the good part. In bold letters, it says, and I quote, I personally guarantee that the Cleveland Cavaliers will win an NBA championship before the self-titled former king wins one. You can take it to the bank. If you ever thought we were motivated before tonight to bring the hardware to Cleveland, I can tell you that this shameful display of selfishness and betrayal by one of our very own has shifted our motivation to previously unknown and previously never experienced levels. Some people think they should go to heaven but not have to die to get there. Sorry, but that's simply not how it works. This shocking act of disloyalty from our homegrown chosen one sends the exact opposite lesson of what we would want our children to learn and who we would want them to grow up to become. But the good news is that this heartless and callous action can only serve as the antidote to the so-called curse on Cleveland, Ohio. The self-declared former king will be taking the curse with him down south. And until he does right by Cleveland and Ohio, James, and the town where he plays, in parentheses, because it's Miami, will unfortunately own this dreaded spell and bad karma. Just watch. Sleep well, Cleveland. Tomorrow is a new and much brighter day. I promise you that our energy, focus, capital, knowledge, and experience will be directed at one thing and one thing only. Delivering you the championship you have long deserved and is long overdue. Signed, Dan, being Dan Gilbert, majority owner, Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, number one, that sounds like a fine. Number two, he probably had this letter written because it didn't really reference what they say when he takes it down south. But whatever team he should decide. I think he had pieces of it written and then circle back to it. But, wow, is he mad? Or is he mad? Or is he mad? when Michael Wilbon was interviewing LeBron James, and it's not funny because it's crazy. And I said Cleveland's gonna tear the club up, but oh my goodness, when Michael Wilbon was interviewing LeBron James, he had some live footage of his jersey being burnt. Them fools is burning his jerseys. Cleveland is not playing. I mean, I knew it meant y'all, a lot to y'all, but goodness. And I like sports as much as the next girl, but sheesh. The lady that's been in Cleveland for the past couple of days, her name escapes me right now, but she was talking about a woman started sobbing. It's like, did y'all have bets on this? Did your livelihoods depend on him staying in Cleveland? Please let me know. Did your boss say, if LeBron James doesn't stay in Cleveland, you lose your job, you lose your home, and you're going to hell? Like, that's how people are acting. But at the end of the day, this is a business. And I wrote a vent weeks ago talking about LeBron James is a man. But I will say he didn't go for anything like money or to be in a bigger market so he can get more attention, because he could get more money and more attention in Cleveland being a hometown hero. He did it because it was about one thing and one thing only, and that's winning. And that's good. That's what the mission should be. But as I previously said, he's a man, y'all. A man. You put all of your hope in a man. Like, LeBron ain't gonna leave us. He's gonna stick it out. It's been 7 seasons, folks. So I don't know what really you were expecting. I mean, a championship, of course, but I don't know, 7 seasons. How long do y'all want him to stay there? 10 years? And not win nothing? Not saying you're never gonna get it. Not saying you're never gonna get it. What I do actually find to be ironic is if Cleveland does actually go on to win the championship without him, woo! Better than that if he just doesn't win a championship next year. We're going to be all looking back, summer 2010, summer of LeBron, all of that stuff, and be like, so now what? They had a big 3 in Miami. He still didn't win. What thing? But it was refreshing that he was just like, it's not about whose team it is. It's not about who's getting highlight and stardom and all of that. It's not about all of that. It's about winning. All of our minds, the 3 of us, Bosh, Wade, himself, we're only thinking about wins, multiple championships. And I've got to give it up to Pat Riley. Pat Riley laid it down. Some other people gave some presentations, but clearly the best man won. And I think Pat Riley's going to come back and coach. And I'd be lying if I said I don't want to see a Miami game when they come to Atlanta or whatever city I'm living in. Yeah, I would like to see that. But, this letter. I was just like, oh my goodness. You are upset. Not that I'm trying to make light of it, but I personally guarantee you that the Cleveland Cavaliers will win an NBA championship before the self-titled former king wins one. You simply don't deserve this cowardly betrayal. The self-proclaimed several days of narcissistic self-promotional build-up culminating with national TV special of his decision unlike anything ever witnessed. Called him a coward, selfish, all kinds of names, heartless and callous. What am I missing? What is heartless and callous about? Nobody, and not even Cleveland, clearly y'all didn't prove your case. Why should he stay in Cleveland? Because he's from there? Is that the only thing y'all coming up with? When we got you Byron Scott? Okay. Why else? We're listening. We're listening. Why else should he stay in Cleveland, y'all? Nobody was coming up with anything besides it's your hometown. Which is what I was saying. That's dumb. That's the dumbest reason for anybody to ever stay anywhere. Unless you're driven by money. And he turned that down. So that just shows how serious it is. But it's just crazy. Crazy. I can't get over that letter. I can't wait to just see the stuff start flooding in everybody's reaction, because it's just like, I can't believe he really said that and published it and sent it out for people to see. I got that from Twitter. I'll be back in the morning with more, but this is clearly just the beginning, even though I thought it'd be the end. So with that, I'm sure I'll be back. Just want to give you that little nugget.